Gemini, you may not realize it, but what's happening around you is not random at all. Recently, have you felt yourself changing very quickly, very deeply, so much that even you don't understand why you've become so sensitive to the smallest things? There are moments when you laugh and act normal, but just a few minutes later, you feel strangely disconnected from your own life. Don't rush to think you're being inconsistent. This is a sign that God is touching the part of your soul you've kept hidden for a long time. There is another version of Gemini trying to emerge, a version you've always known was there, but never had enough courage to face. That version is deeper, more authentic, stronger, and also more frightening, because it requires you to remove every social mask, every intelligent, charming, friendly role you use to make others comfortable. And do you know what scares you the most? It's not that people might see the truth inside you. It's that once you allow that true self to awaken, you won't be able to return to the life you used to live. Gemini, I know you've felt this coming. Relationships no longer match your frequency. Conversations feel empty. The places you once belonged to now make you feel suffocated. And the strangest thing is, you're not sad anymore. You just feel like you're leaving an old version of yourself. This is not confusion. This is guidance. This is how God is pulling you back to the person He created you, to be a strong, intuitive, wise, and abundant Gemini, a Gemini who is no longer fragmented, no longer split in two, no longer forced to choose between being authentic and making others comfortable. If you resonate with this message, don't forget to like and subscribe. You will need the next guidance for this awakening phase. And now, prepare yourself a cup of tea or your favorite coffee. Sit down, breathe slowly. Because we are about to enter a conversation your soul has probably been waiting for a very long time. Part 1. God is removing Gemini's social mask. Gemini, perhaps the deepest part of you has never been spoken out loud. From a very young age, you learned how to adjust your energy to match others. You sensed their emotions so quickly that often, before they even said anything, you already knew what to do to keep the atmosphere pleasant. You are flexible, quick-witted, humorous, easy to blend in, and all of these things unintentionally became the perfect mask you carried for many years. A mask so complete that even you sometimes forgot who you used to be before you had to wear it. But there is a truth no one knows. Behind that smile is an incredibly sensitive soul, a mind that sees deeper than anyone, a heart more fragile than people around you could ever imagine. You don't just hear people's words, you hear the energy behind them. You don't just observe, you feel. You don't just understand, you deeply perceive. And because you perceive so deeply, you know that if you said everything you truly feel, if you lived fully as yourself, if you showed the deepest parts of your nature, maybe others wouldn't be able to handle it. So you choose silence. You choose to blend in. You choose to say gentle things instead of true things. You choose to play the role of the cute, cheerful, agreeable Gemini to avoid facing confused looks from others. But recently, things are no longer the same. Have you noticed? Conversations that used to make you laugh suddenly feel empty. Connections that used to warm your heart now drain your energy. Relationships you once tried to maintain now feel awkward, off frequency, loose, as if something is forcing you to let go. You suddenly realize you no longer want to smile just to keep others happy. You don't want to tiptoe around. You don't want to maintain harmony. You don't want to pretend you're okay when inside you're not. And you wonder, what's happening to me? Gemini, perhaps the deepest part of you has never been spoken out loud. From a very young age, you learned how to adjust your energy to match others. You sensed their emotions so quickly that often, Before they even said anything, you already knew what to do to keep the atmosphere pleasant. God doesn't want you to live a half-true, half-false life. He doesn't want you to chase others' approval. He doesn't want you to abandon your real soul just to maintain peace with the world around you. He is pushing you out of environments that no longer fit. He is revealing the people whose vibration no longer matches yours. He is forcing you to look at what you've been avoiding. Every discomfort, every conflict, every unexpected change recently, they are all divine signs. You are flexible, quick-witted, humorous, easy to blend in, and all of these things unintentionally became the perfect mask you carried for many years. A mask so complete that even you sometimes forgot who you used to be before you had to wear it. And if this feels true to what you're experiencing, gently leave a sentence in the comments as a nod to yourself. I'm ready to be my true Gemini self. A small sentence, but the beginning of a great journey. He is peeling off each layer of the mask you've worn for too long. And when the mask falls, you will see yourself more clearly than ever. A Gemini who no longer lives to please anyone. A Gemini strong in a very unique way. A Gemini God designed to lead, to be profound, to succeed, and to thrive in the true essence of your soul. Part 2. Gemini is hiding from their true twin self. Gemini, this is not you being moody. This is not you being difficult or distant. This is a sign that God is intervening in your life in a way you can't ignore. You are stepping into a phase where God no longer allows you to wear those masks. He sees what you hide. He sees the pain you store. He sees the tears you never let anyone witness. He sees every time you exhaust yourself, trying to become the version that society expects. And now, he says, enough. But then there is the second self, the one you hide more carefully than anything else. A self so sharp that you can see through what others try to conceal. A self with intuition so strong that with just one glance, one frequency, one silence, you already understand the truth no one speaks. A self so deep that even you sometimes feel afraid of yourself. That is the soul self, the sacred self, the self God placed within you as a gift, but you treat it like a secret you're afraid to touch. Now, sit comfortably, pour yourself a cup of tea or your favorite coffee. Take a deep breath. We're about to step into the next part, the part your soul has been waiting for a very long time. You know very well that if you lived fully as that second self, your life would change completely. You would have to let go of old relationships. You would have to leave familiar places. You would have to say things you've kept inside for years. You would have to become a version of yourself that others may not be able to digest easily, and that scares you. Scares you of losing what's familiar. Scares you of being misunderstood. Scares you of becoming isolated. Scares you of hurting others. Scares you of breaking the balance you've maintained for many years. So you chose to live as the social, gentle, lovable, easygoing version. You chose safety. You chose stability. You chose the version the world accepts most easily. But what you don't know, or what you've tried not to see, is this. The further you live from your soul self, the more stuck, blurry, and trapped you feel inside your own life. And why are you so afraid of that self? Because it's too real, too strong, too different, and sometimes too lonely. But Gemini, that is exactly what God wants to happen. Gemini's biggest fear is not failure. Gemini's biggest fear is becoming their true self. Because your true self is too different, too powerful, too perceptive, and you fear that if you let it rise, You will never be able to go back to your old world again. In recent times, have you felt it? That sense that something inside you wants to break free, wants to speak, wants to live, wants to be acknowledged. That is the second self, the soul self, rising. The more you suppress it, the stronger it becomes. The more you avoid it, the more it pulls you toward it. You feel yourself changing, yet you don't know in which direction. You feel you no longer belong to old groups. You feel yourself separating from your previous versions. You feel a strange loneliness. Not sadness, but more like a calling. Gemini, that is God calling you back to yourself. He is asking you to merge your two selves, the social self and the soul self, so you can become the fullest, strongest, clearest, and most prosperous version you were meant to be. If you don't merge these two selves, you will forever remain in the middle. Not sad, but not truly happy. Not failing, but not truly succeeding. Not poor, but never wealthy in the way destiny intended. You will live a life of someone who is always almost there, but never fully arrives. But when you merge them, you will become so sharp that no one can deceive you. You will choose the right opportunities that lead to wealth. You will no longer be distracted by meaningless connections. You will know who stays and who goes. And most importantly, you will enter the path of prosperity God wrote specifically for you. Gemini, if this part feels like it speaks directly to what you've been holding inside, leave a small affirmation. I'm ready to meet my true Gemini self. It is a gentle response to God letting him know you are ready to step into the next chapter of yourself. Sit here, breathe softly, and let me guide you into the next part of the journey. You are not alone. God is walking with you every step of the way. Part 3. Your current challenges are God's level-up test for you. Gemini, have you noticed? Recently, your life feels like a series of strange, intense, unexpected events happening so fast that you hardly have time to understand what's going on. Relationships that once made you feel safe now feel unfamiliar. Work that used to feel stable is starting to feel restrictive, meaningless, sometimes even irritating to your own spirit. Conversations you used to force yourself into now only make you stay quiet. And then, sometimes in the middle of the night or in a random moment, you feel a clear realization, I don't fit into this life anymore. Gemini, you're not wrong, but you're also not crazy, not inconsistent, and definitely not weak, like some people think. What you're experiencing is not a sign of collapse. It's a sign of ascension. God is not punishing you. He is testing you. He is lifting you to a higher level. And to step onto that level, you must prove that you're courageous enough to release what no longer belongs to you. Look back at the recent events. You'll see they're not random at all. There is a relationship that forced you to speak the truth, even if that truth is hard, even if it disappoints someone. This is the first test. Does Gemini dare to be honest with their feelings? Because God knows that until now, you've always prioritized others' emotions over your own. And this is exactly why God is calling you to merge your two selves, not so you become different, but so you become the fullest version of who you already are. When these two selves merge, the first thing that awakens in you is sharp intuition, a sacred gift that God designed specifically for Gemini. There is an unexpected event that made you feel deeply that you're too different from your environment. Before, you could ignore it, go with the flow, temporarily accept it. But not this time, because this is the third test. Do you dare to admit that you've stepped into a new frequency? And then, there is that inner calling a quiet but persistent feeling you can no longer ignore that you need to change. Not a small change, but a big one. From the root, from the soul. That is the fourth test. Do you trust the intuition God placed inside you? Gemini, none of this is meant to scare you. It's meant to make sure you have no path back to your old self. Because if there were a way back, you would choose it. You always do. Because you prefer safety, balance, familiarity. But God knows that your familiarity is no longer the place for you. God is breaking the old things, so you have nothing left to cling to except yourself. That's why the things that once felt stable now shake. Relationships that once felt close now fade. Places that once felt like home no longer feel like home. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is broken. Nothing is falling apart. Everything is simply being rearranged. When God wants to rebuild your life from a true foundation, He allows everything fake in your life to fall away on its own. Does it hurt? Yes. Is it exhausting? Very. But it's the only way to free you from what keeps you tied to your past life. Gemini, you once asked God, why do I always feel different? Why can't I find where I belong? Why do I feel like something is waiting for me ahead? It's your declaration that you understand. What is collapsing is not a loss. It is God clearing the path for your true prosperity. What you need to do now is be honest. Honest with your feelings. Honest with your heart. Honest with what you've always known, but tried to ignore. Because when you're honest, you'll finally see the door God is opening for you. Gemini, if this part resonates with what you're going through, leave an affirmation. I trust God's test for me. It's your declaration that you understand. What is collapsing is not a loss. It is God clearing the path for your true prosperity. Take a deep breath. We're about to step into the next part, where you will understand why this shift has the power to open money, success, and a new destiny meant only for you. Part 4. Merging your two selves. The doorway to abundance for Gemini. But God knows that your familiarity is no longer the place for you. God is breaking the old things, so you have nothing left to cling to except yourself. But what you've never realized is this. It is the fragmentation within you that keeps your life stuck in the middle. Half social self, half soul self. Half logic, half intuition. Half wanting harmony, half wanting awakening. Half seeking safety, half craving breakthrough. Gemini, when these two halves don't move together, you cannot reach true prosperity. Because money does not flow toward fragmentation. Money flows toward clarity, toward decisiveness, toward the alignment of heart, soul, and action. And this is exactly why God is calling you to merge your two selves, not so you become different, but so you become the fullest version of who you already are. When these two selves merge, the first thing that awakens in you is sharp intuition, a sacred gift that God designed specifically for Gemini. That intuition allows you to read people instantly. Just hearing one sentence, seeing one glance, or sensing one frequency is enough for you to know what's really happening. And the miracle is this. When you live authentically, you no longer get deceived, used, pressured, or pulled into environments that are not yours. God wants you to open the door to abundance through clarity, not through trying too hard, not through working to be liked, but through standing firmly in your true nature. A Gemini with eyes that see through the dark, a sensitive heart, and a mind God lights up at the perfect moment. When you merge your two selves, you no longer make decisions based on temporary emotions or the fear of being left behind. You make decisions based on divine signals, a gentle but powerful certainty. You suddenly know who should stay and who no longer fits. Which job truly leads to prosperity? Which opportunity is yours, and which one is just a distraction? When to invest, and when to walk away. There is a job that suddenly feels like a mirror, reflecting a version of yourself you no longer want to be. A job that forces you to pretend, to hold yourself together, to act like everything is fine. The second test. Do you have the courage to walk away from a place that suffocates your soul, even if it once felt stable? You will feel your creativity rise again. Not creativity to please others, but creativity from a place that is real, deep, and powerful within your soul. And when Gemini creates from their true essence, money appears as a natural consequence. This is the stage where you reach sacred wisdom, where logic and intuition no longer conflict, but work together as one. You can analyze, but you can also listen to your soul. You can strategize, but you can also trust the signals of the universe. You can plan, but you can also release what isn't yours. And God wants you to know this. He did not create you to live an ordinary life. The Gemini God designed is not someone who follows others. He wants you wealthy. He wants you strong. He wants you to have a voice. He wants you to step into a life where money, opportunities, people, and environments all reflect your soul's true frequency. God is opening a door of abundance that you can only see once you merge your two selves. And when you step through that door, everything begins to shift. You become less afraid, less distracted, less pulled down, less manipulated, less drained, less dependent on external circumstances, and instead, you become brighter, stronger, clearer, more confident, and so magnetic that even you will be surprised. Part 4. Merging your two selves. The doorway to abundance for Gemini. God is opening a door of abundance that you can only see once you merge your two selves. And when you step through that door, everything begins to shift. Part 5. The Golden Gate Moment. Gemini steps into the prosperity God destined for you. Gemini, have you ever felt that lately everything is happening faster than usual? The changes, the strange vibrations, the situations forcing you to choose. Everything seems to arrive all at once, as if an invisible hand is pushing you forward. And if you look closely, you'll realize that the shift isn't only happening around you, it's happening inside your soul. God is moving you into a completely new timeline. A timeline where everything operates by a different rule, a different frequency, a different level. The old timeline, full of fragmentation, exhaustion, hesitation, and half-truths, is closing. And a new timeline, the timeline of prosperity, clarity, strength, and freedom, is opening right in front of you. This is the Golden Gate moment. The rare moment when the universe, destiny, and God's guidance converge to move you onto a greater path. And Gemini, not everyone gets the chance to enter this stage. But you do. And it's not a coincidence. You've gone through hurt. You've gone through trials. You've gone through painful awakenings. You've gone through countless moments of silence to keep peace for others. And now, God is telling you, I've seen enough. It is time for you to receive what has always been yours. In this new timeline, you will see clear changes as divine signs. The right relationships begin to appear. Not the shallow, inconsistent, or convenience-based ones, but people who match your frequency, people who touch your soul, people who see you not through your mask, but through your real essence. Work becomes abundant, clear, and expansive. You no longer feel like you're in the wrong place. You no longer force yourself to fit in. You go to the right places, meet the right people, receive the right assignments, and from that, your income rises naturally. A new environment lifts your vibration. You no longer feel heavy when you enter a room. You no longer have to act to blend in. You feel your body lighter, your mind clearer. Divine helpers appear at the perfect time. Not people you search for, people God sends. They open doors you once thought you could never touch. Financial opportunities open in unexpected ways. Not opportunities you chase, but opportunities that chase you because your energy has shifted. Gemini, here is the most beautiful part. When you live truthfully, money flows toward you. Divine helpers appear at the perfect time. Not people you search for, people God sends. They open doors you once thought you could never touch. When you no longer wear a mask, your energy becomes so clean and strong that it naturally attracts. When you are no longer fragmented, your mind becomes clearer, sharper, more accurate in direction. When you stop trying to belong somewhere, you begin stepping into the place you were born to belong. And when your soul becomes unified, you begin to walk into the life God wrote for you long ago, a life of fulfillment, confidence, clarity, abundance, peace, prosperity. Gemini, you no longer need anyone's permission to become the strongest version of yourself. You only need to agree with God that you're ready to enter your new life. When you no longer wear a mask, your energy becomes so clean and strong that it naturally attracts. When you are no longer fragmented, your mind becomes clearer, sharper, more accurate in direction. When you stop trying to belong somewhere, you begin stepping into the place you were born to belong. Your soul knows this. Your heart knows this. And God is gently reminding you, He has opened the door. Your job is to walk through it with your true self, not with your mask. If this part touches your heart, write an affirmation to open your own door to prosperity. I step into the abundance God prepared for me. Now, take a deep breath. You have completed the 5-part journey, but this is only the beginning of your true life. God is walking with you, and I am here too, walking with you through every new chapter. Gemini, if you've listened all the way to this point, it proves something very important. Your soul is truly ready for a new chapter of your life. And the most beautiful thing is, you're not just listening with your ears, you're listening with your heart, your intuition, and the deepest part of who you are. Today, you were reminded of a truth you once forgot. You are not alone on this journey. God is with you, guiding you through the changes, the challenges, the transitions that you sometimes cannot even name. He is opening doors that only your most authentic self can step through. And the biggest lesson of this video is this: when you dare to face yourself, the world will no longer feel like it's facing against you. When you dare to remove your mask, truth will begin to flow into your life. When your two selves merge, you become a magnet for money, opportunities, love, and peace. This isn't a vague spiritual idea. It's a practical lesson you can apply right now. Observe where you're still wearing a mask. Be a little more honest with your emotions each day. Listen to your intuition instead of just listening to the noise around you. Choose environments that lift you up, not ones that pull you down. And most importantly, believe that you deserve better. If this video touched you, gently leave a comment to strengthen your own spirit. I'm ready for God's plan for my Gemini life. That small sentence is your message to the universe, a sign that you are ready to step into the prosperity timeline written just for you. If you feel the energy of this video brought you awakening, peace, or even a little light to keep going, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any important message God wants to send you in the journey ahead. Gemini, remember this: you were born to shine in your own unique way. You are guided to become stronger, and you are chosen to step into abundance. I believe in you. God believes in you. And this journey is only just beginning. See you in the next video. Take care of your soul and keep walking with light in your heart.